I saw this sermon being taught at your conference,
forgot
The
it?
Glory. I was like, what's the name of the conference? Glory
That's
Conference.
crazy. He forgot the name
Yeah,
of
yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, you teach like 2,000 women this text, and so even approaching this text, um, were there any fears that came up? Were there any fears that came up in you saying like, man, this is a woman who, yes, being asked to do some very hard things,
Right.
and so not only was it any like grappling like with you like as a
Yeah.
woman with this text, but how did you even approach this text knowing I have to teach this to 2,000 women?
Well, more than that.
Yeah,
Because if I have 9 glories, 2,000 each, that's about 15, 20,000 women. I'm able to bring this text before,
yeah, yeah,
and that's a lot of people whose story is similar to Sarai's.
yeah,
And so I think one, it's a beautiful thing to be a woman, honestly, and work through this text because I'm not asking the same questions that men would often ask. You know, I'm not saying that men are insensitive because they're human beings, but even when I went through the commentaries, they were not answering the questions I had, such as how would that have felt for Sarai
yeah,
to not be able to have a baby? How does that feel, especially when God has promised it,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
like that's especially considering the context of their community and their day. Barrenness and infertility was considered shameful, so shameful that you were considered to be accursed.
yeah,
Because even when you look through Deuteronomy, like one of the curses that came with disobedience was what? Barrenness.
yeah,
So it looked as if you weren't blessed.
yeah.
Like God has actually turned his face away.
Can
You know
I
what I'm
say
saying?
this real quick too? And not to get off subject, but this is just it just made me think of this. I think this is a reason why men in the body should really value women's voices.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because like even when we look in Genesis, right, and God told Adam it wasn't good for him to be alone. Um, like humanity couldn't fully mirror the image of God without both male and female,
Yeah.
right? And so I think we can have like, oh, women value women's voices to be like we're pro women and all of that. It's bigger than that. It's about, are we not hearing from women, and is it preventing us from really seeing a clear picture of the Lord?
Right.
Right. It's really a gospel issue,
Yeah.
right? Because if women reflect the glory of God in ways that men don't,
Mm.
we miss out.
You do?
We miss out on so much. And so I think what that shows me is I think that we need both men and women looking and knowing how to read the Bible contextually and putting our heads together and saying, like, how can we come together and fully see the heart of God
Yeah.
in concerning the text. And so,
Yeah.
because you saw things in the text as a woman
Yeah.
that I just won't see.
Yeah, because
And I could read things about war, you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
about a text as a man that you just couldn't understand.
Because